Welcome to my Primary Languages CPD Series Part 13, Spanish Phonics and Pronunciation, Stress, Accents and Punctuation. My name is Claire Seckham and I'm a languages teacher and independent consultant. You can read more about what I have to say about primary languages on my blog, which is called Changing Phase, and any resources that I show you, you'll be able to find on my website, which is called Lightbulb Languages. So our big question is, how do stress rules, written accents and punctuation affect the sound of Spanish? To get the most out of this phonics and pronunciation video, look out for the pause button. You can stop the video, practice the words and then click play again to listen to the correct pronunciation. I would also recommend watching the video more than once in order to embed your learning and practice. Let's look at stress first. There are rules which dictate which part of a Spanish word is stressed, and by stressed we mean emphasized or leaned on. Firstly, for words that end in a vowel, an N or an S, the stress falls on the penultimate syllable of the word. On the other hand, if the word ends in a consonant apart from N or S, then the stress falls on the final syllable of the word. Realistically, the consonants that are seen on the end of words are mostly D, J, L, N, R, S and Z. Here is a selection of Spanish words. You may remember some of them from the last video. Pause the video and work out which syllable the stress falls on in each word according to the rules. In the first word, the stress falls on the penultimate syllable as the word ends in a vowel. Patata. Elefante ends with a vowel, so the stress falls on the penultimate syllable. The next word ends in a consonant that is not an N or an S, so the stress falls on the last syllable. Capital. This is a good example of a Spanish word which is identical to English but which has a different sound. The next word also ends with a consonant that is not N or S, so that stress falls on the final syllable. Usted. Menos ends with an S, therefore the stress falls on the penultimate syllable. The final word ends with a vowel, so the stress falls on the penultimate syllable. Flamenco. There are some Spanish words that don't follow the stress rules, and written or orthographical accents are used to show which syllable the stress falls on in those words. The written accents are only seen on vowels. This is because all syllables have to have a vowel, but they can exist without a consonant. You can see at the top of the screen here what the written accents look like. They are always written diagonally from bottom left to top right. Here are some Spanish words which have written accents. They include proper nouns. All the sounds are either those which are very similar to English or the vowel sounds which we practiced in the last video. Pause the video and practice the words. Remember that you need to stress the syllable that the accent is on. Café, clásico, fútbol, papá, teléfono, análisis, Málaga, León, Panamá, Mónica, Tomás, Félix. Written accents are also used to differentiate two otherwise identical words. The sound is not affected by the accents here. Here are some examples. Si without the accent means if. Si with an accent means yes. Tu without the accent means your. Tu with an accent means you when it's the subject of a verb. Te means you when it's the object of a verb, and te means tea as in the drink. Spanish has some commonly used punctuation marks which other languages don't have, namely the upside-down question mark and the upside-down exclamation mark. These punctuation marks work a bit like brackets or speech marks, with one half, the upside-down one, going before the utterance, and the second, the right way round one, afterwards. These upside-down punctuation marks were first adopted by the Real Academia Española, the organisation which oversees the Spanish language and ensures its stability, in 1754. The marks show that there is a question or exclamation coming up. This is especially helpful with questions, as statements and questions are often worded the same. Question marks also show us that we have to change the sound and use a rising intonation or make our voice rise at the end of the sentence to show that it's a question. Here are some examples. Es blanco. Es blanco. Tiene dos gatos. ¿Tiene dos gatos? Con Paco y Lucas. Con Paco y Lucas? When we're writing the upside-down punctuation, we make it hang under the line slightly. In the case of the upside-down exclamation mark, this prevents it from looking like a lowercase letter I. To help students to write an upside-down question mark, try getting them to write a small I and a big C before putting the dot on top. We will delve further into primary languages in the next videos.